Hello, students. This screencast-o-matic will be about depression. I want to remind you that mental health diseases and disorders, including depression, have to interrupt your ability to function in everyday life, and the symptoms need to last for at least 2 weeks in order to be able to be considered a disorder. So you may hear some things in here that you have experienced yourself and know that that is normal human experience. What is not normal is when those symptoms interfere with your ability to do the things you need to do every day, like get up, take a shower, eat, get dressed, go to school, do your schoolwork, interact with other people, take care of your physical health, all of those things. When your symptoms interrupt with your ability to do those things, then it is possible that it is a disorder. So, symptoms of depression include persistent, ongoing feelings of sadness, loss, pessimism meaning you feeling very negative, um, empty feelings, feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, worthlessness, irritability, little things that normally wouldn't get on your nerves, restlessness, loss of interest in activities or hobbies that you used to really enjoy doing, fatigue, just feeling tired all the time, decreased energy, difficulty concentrating, difficulty remembering details, maybe difficulty making decisions. Sleeping issues can be a part of, usually are a part actually, of major depression, and it could be insomnia where you can't sleep, or it could be sleeping too much. So, sleeping for 15, 16, 17 hours, waking up, not wanting to get up, wanting to go right back to sleep, um, difficulty getting out of bed, excessive eating, overeating, or appetite loss. So, with sleeping and eating and depression, there are kind of these two sides. You may eat too much or not eat enough. And same with sleeping, sleep too much or not sleep enough. Um, Suicide ideation, meaning ideas about suicide, thoughts about suicide, or suicide attempts, can be a symptom of major depression. Major depressive disorder is technically what it's called. Um, just because someone has depression does not mean that they are suicidal. Same with the other things. Just because someone has depression doesn't mean they feel um, that it's difficult to make a decision, for example. Aches and pains. So we learned in the stress lesson that mental health issues can cause actual physical issues, aches and pains, headaches, cramping, and problems with digestion that don't seem to resolve even with treatment for that physical problem. So, those are some ways that you might know that you have depression. Typically, people who are around you, people who love you, notice that something is wrong. Typically. However, it is difficult for people who live by themselves, away from their families, if they don't have a support system of people who know them well and people who know what they usually are like. So, how do you get it? If I am standing next to you and I have major depression, it is not possible for me to transmit it to you. We don't know exactly, but likely it is a combination of genetic, biological, that means the way your body is functioning. For example, what is your diet like? Environmental, what is your environment like? Are there stressors in your environment constantly, or do you live in an environment that is peaceful and healthy as well? And psychological factors. So, the way that you have come to think about things in your life, it's likely a combination of all of those things. And we don't know exactly. We do know that it is about the neurotransmitters in your brain, those little chemicals that go from neuron to neuron and tell your brain what is happening, tell your brain, tells your the neurotransmitters help your brain know how you're feeling. It is likely, oh no, we know that it is a problem with the balance of those neurotransmitters. So, Treatment, there is no cure for depression, but there is treatment, and many, many, many people find relief from their depression. Once you have depression, once you suffer from it, once you are more likely to experience it again. And also, the earlier in life you experience depression, the more likely you are to struggle with it again in your life. However, there is treatment. Really, really important to know that there is treatment and there is hope and help. So it can be cured, but it can be treated. It is most often treated with a combination of things, with medications and with therapy, with talking to a trained counselor, a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist. That's the most effective way to treat it, a combination of medication and talk therapy. Also, exercise is has been documented scientifically to be even more effective than antidepressants in treating depression. However, um, the last thing, okay, maybe not the last thing, but one of the last things that you feel like doing when you're depressed is getting out and exercising. So it takes either a really, really amazingly strong and motivated person to exercise throughout their depression, or it takes someone with a lot of support and a support group that is exercising through their depression in order to get help from exercise alone, which then if you're with a support group, it's not alone. Um, so I would like to wrap up by saying that depression is not something that you can just put your chin up and get through. So your generation, and I've said this in class, but your generation is the one who will make mental health diseases and disorders something that we talk about, something that we normalize, something that is now like cancer or diabetes, where when we hear that someone is depressed, has major depressive disorder, we don't go, oh, I won't talk to that person because I don't want to embarrass them or embarrass myself or say something wrong. We need to support those people. And we need to have a culture in this country where it's okay to say, I need help. I am struggling to get through the day. I don't know what to do. I'm having terrible thoughts and I don't know where to put them, what to do with them. We need a culture where we embrace people who are experiencing that because of depression, because of anything, and where we help them to get help. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. And remember, everyone has felt sad, everyone has felt down. It's when it interrupts your ability to function in everyday life and lasts for 2 weeks or more that it becomes or may become a disorder. All right. Thank you for sticking with me.